Hi, my name is Matthew Bailey, and I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to put me in this interview process, and hopefully we can work together soon. Um, I'm 19 years old. I go to SFU Burnaby in the Beatty School of Business. I play on the SFU lacrosse team as a second year player and a second year student at Beatty, and I'm a really passionate person for sales. I have some time working at Westwood Plateau Golf and Country Club, doing sales and being a tournament assistant there. And I'd really like to move forward in my career working with the Mark Anthony Group. I would say that my passion for alcohol sales really started last summer. I've always had a passion for sales and marketing. For a long time, I've known that that's what I want to concentrate in university. But the idea of alcohol sales really never occurred to me until I actually met two members from the Mark Anthony Group team at work at my golf course at Westwood Plateau last summer, talking to them about what the Mark Anthony Group can provide, and the job of a sales rep for Mark Anthony Group really opened up my mind to the idea of that this could be a job for me. This is something that I could do with my career. And, for the last 3 years, even though I just turned 19 this year, I've just been around the alcohol at the golf course. It's part of golf in Canada. That's just what people do. They'll have a drink at the course. So, although I wasn't like the one that was selling alcohol to a lot of people, being around it really got me familiar with the culture of it and how it seems like whenever people are going out to have a drink at the golf course, they're enjoying themselves. And I want to be a person that enjoys what I do, and marketing something for people to enjoy sounds like the perfect career option for me. What I'm most looking forward to about working in a customer-facing environment this summer at retail liquor stores would really be the type of people I'm around. Just a little backstory here. My dad works for a pharmaceutical company, so his clientele has to do with people that are, selling drugs to people that could save somebody's life. So I think the marketing is really about what's right and what's wrong. But with marketing alcohol sales, I think it's more about what's better than the other. So if our products taste better, if I can sell the idea to you better, if I can market it better, then you're more likely to buy our product over someone else's. So I think that gives a lot more free range for my skills as a salesperson to make the difference in whether you're going to choose our product or not. And that's something that I'm super excited to be able to display, to be able to hone my abilities as a salesperson and try to make the most sales that I possibly can. So yeah, I'm really excited for that this summer. So as you know, I attend SFU Beatty School of Business in my second year, and about the choice to go to SFU, really a lot of it had to do with which business program I preferred over two universities that I was contemplating going to. One being UVic. I loved the idea of their business school. Seemed great, would be pretty cool to live away from home, I felt like. I also was really into rugby in high school. Huge passion of mine. I've always been an athlete, and I always knew that I wanted to play a college sport somewhere, whether that be rugby or lacrosse. And ultimately, the lacrosse program really wanted me at SFU, and I ended up going with them. Here's a picture of us playing against Oregon State last year with me carrying the ball. And ever since the coaches at SFU reached out to me about lacrosse, I knew I was in. I knew that SFU had a really well-renowned business school as well. I've been hearing about Beatty ever since I was a kid. People have been coming up to me telling me they graduated from there and recommending how great of a school it is. But that, along with the idea that I could play sports at SFU, and sports, meeting all these different people, right? Having an instant group of friends at university was really a huge plus to me. So if I could do that on top of getting a marketing degree, it sounded perfect to me. So that is what I did. I would say the best team that I have ever been a part of would have to be my old high school rugby team. We weren't the best players, we weren't the best athletes, but we ended up winning the AA Tier 2 provincial title. The reason for this doesn't have to do with some players sticking out and winning the game just by taking over. It involved including every single person on our team through communication, competitivity, and just time spent together building relationships. I always say that that team could have easily lost every game of the year if it wasn't for the way that we cared about each other and how we wanted each other to succeed. We would spend all day together at lunch, hanging out, practice 3 times a week, put our blood, sweat, and tears into the game just so we could come out and just get a little bit better every time. And I think that's the mentality that I bring to an organization. I'm not going to be the best off the bat. I might make mistakes, but I'll own up to those mistakes and I'll do whatever I can to improve the next time I do it. I consider myself a perfectionist, so when I mess up, I'm my own harshest critic about that. And I really think that that's what it takes to become the best, is by always reflecting upon yourself, thinking, what can I do to improve? Even if it's not my fault, what can I do to make the situation better? And that's the great teamwork that I think I can bring to your company and to the sales representative force. What I'm most looking forward to about representing Mark Anthony brands has to be how you guys really just revolutionized the market. Bringing in White Claw, Dillon's, Mike's Hard, drinks like that really changed the perspective of how people look at their night out having some alcohol. I think before Mark Anthony, there was really this impression that you either drink beer, you drink wine, or you have hard alcohol. There's no real option for a seltzer or something refreshing, something sweet even, that you enjoy drinking and don't have to be one of those guys pretending that they like beer just because they want to fit in and be one of the guys. I think that's something that happened way too often in the past, but now with brands like Dillon's, Mike's Hard, White Claw, I think that stigma and that being stuck in old ways is definitely going to change. So being able to represent a company like that and be able to make sales and do marketing for something that changes a market, that brings in all these new flavors, I think I would be very proud to do so. If I'm pitching the Dillon's product to a retail store manager, I would first start with obviously introducing myself, giving them a firm handshake, giving them some smiles, and try to start building a relationship with them, finding common talking points, finding things that maybe I would start pitching towards their interests if they're someone who's into certain things. But regardless of that, I would definitely start my pitch with the fact that we're local, We're made in Canada, we use Canadian ingredients, and all our processes are in Canada. It's all fresh, and everything we do is to a high standard. And I think that's something that people would love to hear. The fact that they can trust us based off where we're from, how we're not, outsourcing, resourcing, etc., I think would be a great talking point. I also find that it would be amazing to talk about the fact that the Dillon's product makes spirits how they like them. They're not just trying to advertise to some target market, making things as sweet as possible, making things as, extraordinary and huge, combining all these crazy flavors that nobody's even heard of before. The fact that it's real ingredients and it's made how the people who make it like to drink it is going to be a huge sales part that I think a lot of people would love to hear when they want to buy a product, that this is good because we say it's good and we made it, not just because we're trying to make it for you. The reason why I think I would be a great candidate for this position is because of how much time I've spent around the alcohol sales rep environment. My time at Westwood Plateau Golf and Country Club, for these last 3 years, I've seen it most days that I work. I've met sales reps, I've networked, including 3 members from your Mark Anthony team, as well as many others from different companies. I've somewhat grasped what it means to be an alcohol sales rep. And what I've seen, I love. And I think that my skill set with being a great communicator, creative guy, and someone that really just loves to socialize, I think this would fit amazingly with who I am as a person. As I previously mentioned, I have a competitive instinct. I have a great ambition to succeed, which have stemmed from me playing sports my entire life. I think that these would be great assets that I could bring to the Mark Anthony group, and as well as my networking. I think that I'm a great person to talk to. I have no problem striking up conversation with random people who I haven't met, which is how I met the people from Mark Anthony group. And being able to utilize this to the best of my ability would, I think, benefit myself greatly, as well as the company, in increased sales, and hopefully we can do something together. Thank you so much for all your time interviewing and going through processes. I know you don't have to do it, but I'd like to just thank you for your time. Hopefully we'll be working with you soon.